I want to get into now, and this is our final topic before we close, is LeBron.
Hmm.
And um, he is now the all-time leading scorer in the NBA. He just broke
Hmm.
Kareem's record.
It's
What a
incredible,
time,
eh?
what a
And
time, it's amazing. What a time to be alive, right? To
I think
witness, to
so.
witness these things,
Hmm.
to witness these records being broken because I mean you have LeBron breaking the scoring record, you have Steph breaking the
Hmm.
three-point
Breaking the
record, you
three-point
have
record,
Westbrook breaking the triple
triple
double
doubles.
record. And these are things that people said would never be done.
Hmm.
And they're being done, right? And I mean, it's just a great era of NBA
I think
basketball
so.
right now. It's
I
an
think so.
amazing era.
I think
Yeah,
so. I think so
yeah.
as well. It's really incredible to just witness these things, and I hope people can actually like appreciate that, you're
Oh,
alive to like
definitely.
see
Like
these things happening.
I hate to see the hate, you
Hmm.
know, and the diminishing these players, and people saying, "Oh, with LeBron, it's just a longevity thing," you know.
You still have to
Because like
last that long. That
exactly,
is
like
still an accomplishment. And it's not
ex-
only just last that long. I mean, he averaged like 25 points per game. You still have to put the ball in the bucket, right?
exactly.
To average that amount
For
for
all
that
that
period
time,
of
for all
time.
that time.
You
I
understand? And this
I
man
I
has.
hate to see people diminishing these players, not just LeBron, but
Hmm.
like with Westbrook, they would say, "Oh, the triple doubles were empty stats," and all
Hmm.
these things. But I think,
Hmm.
we really need to stop and just appreciate greatness. When these guys retire,
Hmm.
with maybe then we'll get it. Maybe then
Trust
we'll
me, people will
understand.
regret it. People will miss it. I am sure.
We're de we're,
But,
we're definitely gonna miss it because I mean, like, are we ever gonna see another player with LeBron's endurance?
I
Are
don't
we
think
ever
so.
are we ever gonna see another player with that can shoot like Steph?
I
Just
think so.
just
I
maybe,
think
maybe.
we might, at least when it comes to the 3-point shooting, because Steph kind of changed the game now
Yeah,
to
yeah,
where the 3-point shot is like a regular thing. It's like a staple
yeah,
of every game. I
yeah.
would not be surprised if, let's say, sometime in the next 40 years, we
Hmm.
get a player out of college who is just wild when it comes to 3-point
Yeah,
shooting. Like,
yeah,
and the thing
absolutely.
is, Curry kind of started late
Hmm.
with his shooting, kind of, right? And he's
Hmm.
had injuries and those sort of things. You get
Hmm.
a healthy player, and especially with medical improvements and
Hmm.
that sort of thing, and you never know how the NBA might change. I
Hmm.
think you could get someone breaking Steph Curry's record. And I
Yeah,
don't know about
probably.
LeBron
That's
because,
that's gonna be a tough one.
yeah,
That's
to play with that
the
consistency for that
consistency for 20
period of
years.
time,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't
know if
know.
anybody
But the point is to just take a minute and just appreciate
appreciate.
these. I mean, you
Yeah.
don't have to like their team. You don't have to support their team. I don't
Hmm.
support LeBron's teams
Hmm.
or Steph, right? But I individually I
Hmm.
appreciate greatness because it's good for the
Oh, yeah.
game. And as
Yeah.
fans of the game, we have to
Hmm.
acknowledge and appreciate. But this brings me to this question though.
Hmm.
Does LeBron get enough credit as a scorer? What
Hmm.
is your take on
That's
that?
Well, I mean, what he's accomplished is truly great. You cannot deny the fact that he is a scorer. I
Hmm.
don't think that that title can be excluded from his resume. I mean, it's in the stats, right?
Hmm.
It's in his accomplishment. The fact that he is actually the leading scorer, he has the most points in the
Hmm.
NBA, right? I mean, where you can, I guess, kind of make an argument is, I guess, in his facility, in his ability to score, right?
Versatility.
As in
Yeah.
his versatility and the ways he can score, right? So, for
Hmm.
example, I would put KD above LeBron when it comes to the ways that he could score, because KD
Yeah.
could do it
Me too.
almost anyhow, right? I
Yeah.
would even put someone like Kyrie above
Hmm.
LeBron, Allen Iverson. I'd put them above
Hmm.
LeBron. That is not to diminish his capabilities, right?
Right.
Because he's still a great scorer. He's
Hmm.
Once he has his eyes on the rim and he
Yeah.
starts to drive, like, he's pretty much
Yeah.
unstoppable.
Exactly.
And one of the things I've always kind of appreciated about LeBron is that he's adjusted his game over time, right?
Hmm.
Initially, when he came into the league, it was, yeah, he's a slasher who could pass the ball, right?
Hmm.
Most times it was like, just let him shoot because he can't
Hmm.
shoot. Right now, he's a
But then he
serious threat
developed a
from
shot.
the,
Yeah.
he
Exactly.
developed a shot, right?
Hmm.
He developed this skill of putting his back to the basket while he was at
Hmm.
Heat,
Mm-hmm.
right? Being able to, play on the elbow, that sort of thing, right? I just appreciate the way he has evolved his game because a lot of players come into the NBA and they cannot adjust,
Mm-hmm.
right? We kind of seeing that with, I guess, Carmelo now, right? Because look, Carmelo is not even on a team, right? Because Carmelo pretty much only has one way of span. That's the shot. And as he gets older, right, it becomes a little harder, I guess, for him to play defense and those sort of things. So it's hard to find a spot for him.
Mm-hmm.
But LeBron has adjusted his game with the
Mm-hmm.
times
He's
and
evolved.
just
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
evolved and just in considering those things, like he is a scorer.
He obviously can score,
Mm-hmm.
right? I mean, obviously he has the
Mm-hmm.
most points in NBA
Absolutely.
history. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yes, longevity is a part of it, but that in itself is an accomplishment. The consistency over
Mm-hmm.
20 years is an accomplishment.
I mean,
Hmm.
it's to the point where LeBron has played with children and their fathers, Kenyon Martin, right? His son is now
That's
in the league.
wild.
LeBron played
That
with
is wild. Yeah.
and I mean, you just really have to just appreciate like just the mentality that
Hmm.
he's had to stick with it, to
Hmm.
put his health first, because a lot of players don't,
Hmm.
right? And all these things are kind of just adds to his greatness. Because I'm sure there are players who have come into the NBA with a similar body type to LeBron,
Hmm.
but because they haven't put things in place to take care of their body, or they don't put in the discipline, right, to stay fit, they don't last as long as he does.
And also, I believe he's in the top five points average all time.
Mm-hmm.
I think his career average is like 27 or somewhere.
27 there, about,
Yeah,
yeah,
thereabouts.
around there.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Which puts him at fifth
Mm-hmm.
all time points average, right? Over 20 years. So think
Yes.
about that. Think about that. Over
That
20
is not
years,
easy.
he has scored at a consistent level over 20 years
Mm-hmm.
to be fifth all time in
Time.
points
Mm-hmm.
average.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like you said, his scoring did evolve because if you look at his shot chart, he's
Mm-hmm.
not just a one-dimensional scorer,
Can
like
play.
just in the
Mm-hmm.
paint. Like he has a mid-range, he has a three-point. I mean, he's not lethal from those positions,
No, but
but
it's there.
he can hit it,
It's a
he can
threat,
hit
yeah.
it. And like you said, he's absolutely deadly driving
Mm-hmm.
to the rim,
Almost unstoppable.
when
Mm-hmm.
he's coming at you with that speed and that size, there's nothing you can do. You don't think that like in some of those games where he's going off for like 38 or whatever, in his mind, he's like, this is bringing me closer to Kareem. I don't give a shit about this win tonight. Like you don't see that like being at the back of his
I
mind.
don't know him personally, but just from just
If
LeBron,
it were you,
mhm.
if it were
If
you,
it were
wouldn't
me,
yeah,
yeah,
wouldn't you have at
yeah.
the back of
I
your
think if
mind
it were
like,
me, I would be like, let me just get this over with, right? So I can get it off my mind. You understand? Because I mean, what I'll give you is he was injured, right?
mm-hmm,
The time when he broke the record, clearly because he missed the next like 3 games after.
mm-hmm,
So clearly
mm-hmm,
he wasn't 100%. But he's
mm-hmm,
like, I'm gonna play on this so that I can
mm-hmm,
get the record.
mm-hmm.
So
I mean, we can't be mad. That's the thing. Like he he's already proven himself.
mhm.
And if now at this point in his career he wants to go for individual glory, then I'm not mad at it. I
And it's
personally I'm,
past that.
I'm not mad. Yeah, but what I will say, the only thing I will say, he obviously can put up numbers, right? He's been
Mhm,
doing it consistently year after
mhm,
year. But what I will say is that when I think about lethal scorers or lethal
mhm,
shooters,
mhm.
um, he does not immediately come to mind. But you
No,
know what I mean? Would you agree
no.
with that?
Yeah, I
Like the
totally
way I would
agree.
like the way I would immediately think of Katie or
Mhm.
Steph
Or Kobe or
or
MJ, like,
Kobe or Jordan. Exactly.
yeah,
To
you don't
me,
get that from him.
yeah. To me, and what I like about Katie, what I've always liked about Katie is that he's very, and to me, this is what makes him the the best scorer
Mhm,
all time to me. And by the way, KD, we talked about LeBron is fifth in points average. KD is fourth. So KD's
I'm not surprised.
just
I'm not
above
surprised.
him in
Mm-hmm.
points average all time. And KD's had a long
Mm-hmm.
career as well.
Mm-hmm.
But why I put KD above everyone is just that he's so calculated. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And so methodical. Like you would rarely, if ever, see KD throw up a wild shot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
Like
Uh-huh.
like you would more see like you would see Steph do something like that. I mean, no
Mm-hmm.
shot is really a bad shot for Steph because he can just
Yeah.
unlimited range, but you would see him throw up some wild ones, and you're like, why did he shoot that? You know, you would
Mm-hmm.
rarely, if ever, see KD throw up a wild shot. He gets to his spots. That's what I mean by calculated and
And
methodical.
I
He
guess
gets
that also
he gets
uh-huh.
to his spots and he will take high percentage shots,
Mm-hmm.
which is why his field goal percentage is always,
Is so high.
it's
And you
so
could
good.
also
It's
look
so
at that
high.
as
Yeah.
if you want to give that like that's the definition of a scorer, right?
Yeah.
Somebody who is
That's why I
calculated
put
and
him above.
efficient like
Yeah.
he
And
is. Because
efficient.
LeBron
Exactly.
has always been like, I'm a pass first kind of guy. I'm a teammate
Mm-hmm.
kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
much rather give my
Mm-hmm.
teammate a good
And
assist as opposed to me scoring buckets.
that's probably one of the reasons why he gets overlooked as a scorer is because he does
Mm-hmm.
everything else on the
Else.
court.
Mm-hmm.
He rebounds, he passes, he defends. Like he's not just a score.
Scorer.
Maybe if he were only focused on scoring,
Mm-hmm.
then he would be
People would,
considered.
yeah.
Yeah, you would consider him. You would like kind of zero in on his scoring ability and consider him one of the great scorers. But he does everything else,
Mm-hmm.
which probably overshadows the scoring.
Scoring. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I think you're right. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
He
But
just doesn't have that kind of, like you say, that methodical way of scoring,
exactly, and that's why I
and
put
it's
KD above everybody. And KD, by the way, is the next active player in the all-time scoring list. He's currently at 14th.
mhm,
I think he's at 14th. He's the next active player on the list. Having played way less games though, because remember he sat out a whole season with the
yeah,
Achilles, and
mhm,
I don't think he reached 1,000 games. It's like 900 and something,
he's still 14 on the
and
list.
he's number 14 all time, and he would have easily been top 10 if not for that year that he missed. You know,
Mhm.
but I put KD above the rest just because of how methodical he is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with you.
Mm.
I think so as well.
Yeah. And when I think of lethal scorers, like I said, LeBron doesn't immediately pop into my mind. I think he uses his size and his strength to his
Mhm,
advantage. He could kind of play bully ball, you know what I mean?
mhm.
But when I think of lethal scorers, I think of guys
KD.
who just terrorize defenses with their shot, with their jump shot, you know?
Mhm.
Like you just can't guard them. I think that about does it for today's episode. I
Yeah,
think we've unpacked a lot. We've talked so much.
too much.
I'm thirsty as hell right now. But the conversation was great.
Mhm,
Again,
mhm.
thank you so much for joining me on the show. Hope to have you back again sometime.
Of
And
course,
I
of course.
really, really enjoyed the discussion.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
if there's anything you'd like to say,
Yeah, I would
feel
just like to say thank you for having me. I enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this. You said that this was your first time. I don't think so. Because it seems
it's
like you've been
definitely
at
my
this for
first
a while, right?
time.
You made me feel very comfortable.
Yeah.
A very nice discussion about basketball. I
Mm.
really enjoyed this,
Mm.
right? So I really hope that,
Thank
when
you
you start
so
to get
much.
big, you'll not
Yeah.
forget me and you'll invite me
I
back.
definitely won't. I would definitely won't forget. You help me start launch the whole
Hmm.
thing. So,
Hmm.
can't forget you. But this is definitely my first time. I've never, done a podcast or so yeah, kind of nervous about putting this out there, but we'll see how it goes.
I mean, I think you're really good at it, and I really do hope you continue, right?
Mhm.
Because like I said, just from observing you and just from our discussion, I really do think you're good at this.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you so
So
much. That means a lot.
yeah.
And that's really encouraging to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So thanks for the
Mm-hmm.
support.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, thanks for joining me. I hope you guys enjoy the show. Um, don't forget to like the video, share the link, subscribe to the channel if you want to. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. So
Mm-hmm.
see you guys on the next one. Thanks, Karen.
All right. No problem.
Bye.
Later.